I'm lying in the pre-op bed, staring at the ceiling tiles, when my phone rings. It's the hospital billing department. Miss Sullivan, the woman says calmly, your insurance was cancelled last month. The words don't register at first. I glance at my husband, Derek, standing beside my bed. His face doesn't change. No shock. No confusion. Just a blank stare that tells me everything I need to know. The nurse hovers nearby, clipboard ready. We'll need another payment method, the woman continues, or we'll have to postpone the surgery. My stomach drops. Derek finally speaks, his voice flat, we needed the money elsewhere. I try to argue, insisting there must be some mistake. My hands shake as I grip the phone. The billing coordinator pulls up the records, her tone turning apologetic. The policy was cancelled deliberately, Miss Sullivan. The authorized caller was Derek Sullivan. She pauses. There's also a note here, a Patricia Sullivan was listed as a consulted party. Patricia. Derek's mother. My mind reels. I look at Derek again, searching his face for any sign of remorse. Nothing. He won't meet my eyes. The nurse shifts uncomfortably, clearly sensing the tension. So what happens now? I whisper. The coordinator sighs. Without insurance or payment, we can't proceed today. They postpone the surgery. The anesthesiologist who just introduced himself quietly leaves. Nurses begin unhooking monitors. My pain medication is wearing off, and sharp discomfort floods back into my abdomen. Humiliation burns hotter than the physical pain. Other patients probably heard everything. Derek stands there, arms crossed, staring at his phone. Then Patricia arrives, somehow she knew to come. She sweeps into the room wearing her usual composed expression, bordering on smug. Sweetheart, she says to Derek, ignoring me entirely, let's discuss this at home. Then she turns to me. At your age, surgeries are risky anyway. My breath catches. This wasn't an accident. This was a decision. Back home, I demand answers. Derek finally explains, the insurance premiums were redirected to cover his failing online consulting business. Mom helped me restructure the finances, he says, as if that justifies everything. I pull up our bank statements on my laptop, hands trembling. There it is, 3 months of redirected payments. But the timing is what destroys me. I check the cancellation date against my medical records. The insurance was cancelled exactly 1 week after my diagnosis. 1 week after the doctor told us I needed surgery. They knew. They both knew what was coming, and they chose his business over my health. Derek sees my expression and sighs. Don't be dramatic. When I confront them together, they minimize everything. Patricia sits on our couch like she owns it, sipping tea. It's just a minor procedure, she says dismissively. You're being overdramatic. Derek nods along. The surgery isn't urgent. The doctor said it could wait. I stare at him, incredulous. The doctor said it could wait a few weeks for scheduling, not indefinitely. Patricia waves her hand. Marriage is about sacrifice. Derek's business supports both of you. I feel myself shrinking, the way I always do around her. They've rehearsed this. They're tag-teaming me, making me feel selfish for wanting medical care. Derek's final words cut deepest, we'll reschedule when finances improve. Just be patient. That night, lying in bed while Derek snores beside me, something shifts inside me. The pain in my abdomen is constant now, a dull throb that spikes with certain movements. I stare at the ceiling, replaying their words. Dramatic. Sacrifice. Be patient. For years, I've accepted Patricia's interference. I've swallowed my pride when Derek chose her opinion over mine. I've stayed quiet to keep the peace. But they crossed a line. They gambled with my health. In the darkness, I make a decision. I stop planning what to say. I stop rehearsing arguments. I start listening. Watching. I pull out my phone and search for a number I haven't called in years. Tomorrow, I'll contact my former employer's HR department. Before I left my job 5 years ago to support Derek's entrepreneurial dreams, I worked 15 years at Brennan & Associates, a prestigious accounting firm. I was a senior analyst, well compensated, respected. I gave it up when Derek insisted he needed my full support to launch his business. Just for a year, he'd promised. That was 5 years ago. Now I dial Sharon, the HR director I'd worked with for over a decade. Her voice brightens when she recognizes mine. Victoria. How are you? I explain my situation carefully, avoiding too many details. She listens, then drops a bombshell. You might qualify for our legacy employee health coverage. My heart races. She explains that long-term employees who left in good standing can reinstate coverage under specific circumstances. Let me check your file. Sharon calls back within 2 hours. You're eligible, she says, barely containing her excitement. You vested after 10 years, and the policy covers former employees for up to 7 years post-departure under hardship provisions. Relief floods through me, but she adds a critical warning. This needs to be done quietly, Victoria. If your current household insurance situation changes or if there's any indication of fraud, it could complicate things. I understand. Derek can't know. Not yet. She emails me the forms. I fill them out immediately, hands shaking with a mixture of hope and rage. Within 48 hours, I have temporary coverage. I schedule an appointment with a new doctor, one Derek doesn't know about. The first available slot is next week. Dr. Reeves is thorough, compassionate, and alarmingly direct. After reviewing my scans and medical history, she sits across from me, her expression grave. Miss Sullivan, this isn't something you can delay indefinitely. She shows me the imaging. The issue is more serious than my previous doctor indicated. There's a growth that needs removal. Every week you wait increases the risk of complications, she explains. Why would your insurance be cancelled right after diagnosis? I tell her the truth. Her jaw tightens. That's unconscionable. She pauses. This surgery needs to happen within the month. Any longer, and we're risking serious complications, potentially life-threatening ones. The word life-threatening echoes in my head all the way home. I start documenting everything. I'm methodical, emotionless, treating it like the analytical work I used to do. I pull bank statements, insurance correspondence, email threads. I discovered Derek and Patricia have been communicating about finances for months, always excluding me. There are spreadsheets detailing household expense optimization. My health insurance is listed under non-essential recurring costs. I find business bank statements Derek never showed me. The consulting business isn't just struggling, it's hemorrhaging money. Patricia has been funneling him cash to keep it afloat. Then I find something chilling. I've been removed from our joint savings account. It happened 2 weeks after my diagnosis. The signature authorizing the change is Patricia's, somehow. Derek must have given her access. They're planning a future without me. Sunday dinner at Patricia's house is tense. The table is set with her expensive china, candles flickering between us. Derek's brother, Liam, and his wife are there too. Patricia dominates conversation, as always, discussing her estate planning. I've been updating my will, she announces, smiling at Derek. Making sure everything is in order. She glances at me briefly, her eyes cold. One must be prepared for every eventuality. The implication hangs in the air. Derek shifts uncomfortably but says nothing. Liam's wife catches my eye, her expression sympathetic. She knows something's wrong. Later, Derek jokes, "Mom just likes to be prepared," and everyone laughs. Except me. I excuse myself to the bathroom and quietly record Patricia's next comment about securing family assets. The following Wednesday, Derek comes home with documents. "Victoria, I need you to sign something," he says casually, sliding papers across the kitchen counter. I scan them. It's a temporary power of attorney. "Just while you're unwell," he explains. "So I can handle things if you're incapacitated during surgery." Patricia must have suggested this. The language is broad, giving him control over finances, medical decisions, everything. My hands don't shake anymore. I've moved past fear into cold clarity. "Let me read it thoroughly first," I say calmly. "I want to understand exactly what I'm signing." Derek's jaw tightens. "Don't you trust me?" I meet his eyes. "I just want to be informed." He leaves the papers, irritated. I photograph every page. Instead of signing, I visit Eleanor Hartwick, a lawyer my former colleague recommended. Her office is downtown, elegant but understated. I lay out everything: the cancelled insurance, the redirected funds, the removed bank access, the power of attorney request. Eleanor listens intently, taking notes. When I finish, she sits back. "Miss Sullivan, everything they've done so far is technically legal, but morally reprehensible." She pauses. "The question is, do you want to protect yourself, or do you want to make a statement?" I think about the years I've spent diminishing myself, accommodating Patricia, supporting Derek's dreams at the expense of my own. "Both," I say quietly. She smiles. "Then let's be strategic." We spend 2 hours planning. Dr. Reeves schedules my surgery for the following Thursday. I tell Derek I'm visiting a friend out of town. He barely looks up from his laptop. "Sure, whatever," he mumbles. The morning of surgery, I take a rideshare to the hospital alone. No husband. No family. Just me and my reinstated insurance coverage. The procedure goes smoothly. Dr. Reeves removes the growth. It was larger than expected. "You're lucky we didn't wait longer," she tells me in recovery. I spend 2 nights in the hospital. The nursing staff is kind, never asking why I'm alone. During recovery, I have time to think, to plan, to reinforce my resolve. On the second day, my phone buzzes. A voicemail from our bank's fraud department. I listen, and a cold smile crosses my face. The bank's automated system flagged suspicious transfers from our joint checking account, the one I apparently still have access to, despite being removed from savings. Patricia attempted to authorize a large transfer to Derek's business account using outdated information, probably from when I gave her temporary access years ago for a family emergency. The bank blocked it and reversed the transaction pending investigation. They've frozen Derek's business account until ownership and authorization are clarified. I don't call back immediately. I let it sit. Let them panic. From my hospital bed, I check our household account. Derek has been frantically calling the bank. There are 3 voicemails from him, increasingly agitated. One from Patricia, icy and controlled. None asking where I am or how I'm doing. I'm discharged on Saturday. At home, Derek is pacing, phone pressed to his ear. He sees me and freezes. "Where have you been?" he demands. I set down my bag carefully, wincing slightly from the incision pain. "Handling things," I say simply. He notices the hospital bracelet I forgot to remove. His eyes widen. Did you have the surgery?" I nod. "How?" "You don't have insurance." The mask is slipping. He's not concerned about my health, he's worried about the cost. "I managed," I tell him. His face reddens. "We need to talk about the bank account." There's been a freeze. Do you know anything about that? Patricia calls before I can answer. Derek puts her on speaker. The business account is frozen, she snaps. Fix this, Victoria. Derek looks at me pleadingly. Can you call the bank? Explain this is a mistake. For years, I would have smoothed things over, fixed his problems, managed his mother's expectations. Not anymore. No, I say simply. The word hangs between us. Derek's expression shifts from shock to anger. What do you mean, no? I sit down carefully, protecting my surgical sight. I mean, I'm not going to fix this. You made financial decisions without me. You canceled my health insurance. You removed me from accounts. Now you deal with the consequences. Patricia's voice shrieks through the speaker, how dare you? Derek tries a different approach. Victoria, please. We're family. We're supposed to help each other. I almost laugh. Like you helped me before surgery? Patricia demands a family meeting at her house. Extended family is there, Liam, his wife, Derek's aunt, 2 cousins. They've staged an intervention, with me as the target. Patricia sits like a queen holding court, her face arranged in sorrowful concern. Victoria has been acting erratically, she begins, her voice trembling with manufactured emotion. She's refusing to help Derek during a financial crisis. She's being selfish and vindictive. Other family members shift uncomfortably. She continues, painting me as ungrateful, cruel, manipulative. Derek nods along, playing the wounded husband. I just don't understand why she's punishing me, he says softly. The room watches me, waiting for my response. I pull a folder from my bag. May I present some context? I ask calmly. I lay out printed documents methodically. Bank statements showing the redirected insurance payments. The cancellation notice dated 1 week after my diagnosis. Emails between Derek and Patricia discussing expense optimization and listing my healthcare as non-essential. Screenshots showing my removal from the savings account. The power of attorney documents with their sweeping control. I don't editorialize. I don't raise my voice. I simply present facts, dated and verified. The room goes absolutely silent. Liam's wife covers her mouth. Derek's aunt stares at Patricia, horrified. I add the final piece, Dr. Reeves's medical report, stating that delayed treatment could have been fatal. These are the facts, I say quietly. Draw your own conclusions. Derek opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. Patricia erupts. Her carefully constructed facade shatters completely. This is manipulation, she shouts, standing abruptly. You're twisting everything. We were trying to save the family business. You're being selfish. Her voice rises to a shriek. Derek needed that money. You were supposed to sacrifice for this family. Liam stands up. Mom, stop. She whirls on him. Don't you dare take her side. But the damage is done. Her outburst confirms everything I've silently presented. The mask has slipped, revealing the calculating woman underneath. Derek's aunt quietly says, Patricia, perhaps you should sit down. Patricia glares at me with pure hatred. Then Derek finally speaks, his voice small, Victoria, we can explain. Derek's explanation isn't an apology. It's a justification. I'm sorry for how it looked, he says carefully, as if I'm a client he needs to appease. But you have to understand the pressure I was under. The business was failing. Mom was trying to help. We made difficult choices. He reaches for my hand. I pull away. The insurance was a mistake in timing, he continues. We planned to reinstate it, but things got complicated. He's not sorry for canceling my insurance. He's sorry I found out. He's sorry I survived long enough to challenge him. This man I've spent 12 years with, who promised to honor and cherish me, is simply sorry he got caught. In that moment, I realize our marriage has been over for a long time. I just refuse to see it. I stand up, my decision made. I announce my intention to separate, clearly and calmly. I've already consulted with Eleanor. Our assets will be divided equitably. The house, which I contributed the down payment for from my Brennan and Associates savings, will be sold. I'll retain my reinstated health coverage. Derek will be responsible for his business debts. I've filed the preliminary paperwork, I say. You'll receive notice from my attorney next week. Patricia lunges forward. You can't do this. Think about what you're throwing away. But I'm not throwing anything away. I'm reclaiming myself. Derek looks panicked now, finally understanding consequences. Victoria, please. We can fix this. I'll do better. I shake my head. Some things can't be fixed, Derek. They can only be ended. I walk out of Patricia's house with my spine straight. Within 2 months, the business collapses. Without Patricia's cash infusions, now scrutinized by family members and questioned by her financial advisor, and without access to our joint funds, Derek can't sustain it. The consulting firm quietly closes. He tries to blame me publicly on social media, posting vague complaints about unsupportive spouses. Former clients see through it. One comments, maybe focus less on blame and more on delivering quality work. His reputation suffers. Meanwhile, I receive a final hospital bill, paid in full by my reinstated coverage. I frame it and hang it in my new apartment, a reminder of survival. Eleanor negotiates a clean separation. Derek keeps the car and his computer equipment. I keep my dignity, my health, and my freedom. 6 months later, my phone rings. It's Derek. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. Victoria, he says, his voice rough, tired. I need help. I'm behind on rent, and I have an opportunity, but I need some capital too. I cut him off gently. Derek, I can't help you. There's a long pause. Please. Like before. Remember how we used to be a team? His voice cracks. I'm alone here. Mom's not speaking to me. Liam won't return my calls. I close my eyes, remembering the man I thought I married. Maybe that man never existed. I'm sorry you're struggling, I say honestly. But I can't save you. You have to save yourself. There's silence. Then, quietly, I really messed up, didn't I? I don't answer. We both know the truth. I hang up and sit in my sun-filled apartment, looking at the small life I've rebuilt. I'm back at Brennan and Associates part-time, easing back into the career I abandoned. Sharon welcomed me with open arms. My health is stable, Dr. Reeves says the surgery was completely successful. I've joined a support group for people navigating difficult divorces. I've learned I'm not alone in my experience. Today, I have a follow-up appointment. I drive myself, park easily, check in with the receptionist who knows me by name. My insurance card works perfectly. As I sit in the waiting room, I realize something profound. I chose myself. After years of diminishing my needs, sacrificing my health, accepting scraps of respect, I finally chose myself. And I'm still standing. Stronger. Healthier. Free. That's not revenge. That's victory.